Games Workshop's Basement. Hosted by John Kirk.
I command you, as King of the Britons, to stand aside. Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've heard worse.
Victory is mine. We thank thee, Lord, that in thy mercy.
So the next army, another great army, Dickie. You know, we're just hitting all the greatest hits here. We got High Elves, the noble inhabitants of Ulthuan.
Could be the most hated army in recent years.
I don't understand why people don't like these guys so much. It's not as bad as everyone says it is.
All right,
it's dumb sometimes, but it's not as bad.
Danny,
as everyone says.
Danny, you sell me on these guys.
Okay, Dickie. High Elves have 2 strengths and 2 main weaknesses. Number 1, strength. They got initiative for days. They've got a bunch of units that have really high initiative. They get Elven Grace for an additional +1 initiative. They, some of their elite units are initiative 7.
Wow.
But all of them, like on the turn, they don't charge on the first round of combat. So that can beat sometimes charging first units or units that have charged. In fact, if you're not initiative 4, you're not going to get to go before sword masters in combat. Even if you charge them at 4 inch.
Could be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So that's really good. Their magic is awesome. They're the only army in the game right now that I am aware of. And this may change with the release of Lizardmen that has access to high magic.
Okay.
And high magic has a bunch of really good spells. I really like one of their spells gives the unit reserve move and ethereal until the start of your next turn, which means it can't be you can't hurt them with non-magic attacks, which is pretty wild.
And they move after they shot.
There's also like Courage of Anarian is like unbreakable on one of your units, which is super good. So like you can do like that's one of their signature spells. Really good magic. Also, their wizards get to re-roll a spell cast every single turn. Each one of them does. That's just one of their rules. So great magic. And when I say initiative, I also just mean stat line. Like their non-physical stats, not weapon skill or not strength or toughness, are high.
Yeah.
So like weapon skill is high, initiative is high, leadership is high. All that stuff is good.
Okay, but how do you beat
high
these
elves,
guys? How do you beat these guys?
Well, so one of their main weaknesses is their character limitations. Unless you buy a specific honor for your fighting characters, you can't put them in a lot of your combat units. Mages are limited to which units they go in. So like, for instance, unless you're the general, you can't, or have the White Lions, the Therese honor, you can't go into White Lions. Unless you're unless you have the Lore Master or the Warden of Safri or a mage, you can't join Sword Masters. So like, all these units have really specific character limitations for which character can join which unit, which can make it kind of hard to put characters where you want them to be without giving them, having to lock them into specific equipment and stuff like that. That's definitely a limitation. Also, they're a low toughness, low model count army. So they're an elite army with low toughness, and their armor is okay, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's good. They only have 1 2+ armor save unit in Dragon Princes. Maybe characters on a dragon can have a 2+, but I don't even think that's true. Anyway, so they win, kind of like Empire, but more elite. So High Elves are a pretty good combined arms army. Like they have good shooting, they have good ballistic skill longbows, they have repeater bolt throwers. They have fast cavalry that have great shooting. They have decent shooting and magic. They can do that, but they also can fight. They have some really great fighting units. So they win by being combined arms, but more in an elite fashion than Empire would be, for instance. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So top 3 best units. These are my favorite units.
Yeah.
Dragons are cool, man. They have the Dragon Mage. The Dragon Mage is like fine. He's not great. Like he can't take high magic, so you have to stick him with battle magic or elementalism. So that's kind of a bummer. It would be nice if he could take high magic, but he's a pretty good value if you just want another dragon in your list. Otherwise, you can take mages on moon dragons or sun dragons, and you can take your elf lord on all three. He can take the star dragon, which is which is the one of the biggest dragons in the whole game. You can really buff him up. It makes him hit very hard. It's like D6+1 snops from a star dragon, and it's I think 6 weapon skill 7, strength 7 attacks from the star dragon too. So he's a hitter. Then we have Phoenix Guard. Have you heard of those guys, Dickie?
Unfortunately, yes, I've heard about them. Yeah.
Well, you know how your halberdiers get you can pick when you have your pole arms, you can pick between having fight in 2 ranks and using them kind of as halberds.
Yep.
Well, what if you could just do that with both of the weapons, like all the time? Like
be a
you
lot
could
better.
just use both of the profiles. You could get fight in 2 ranks and have halberds.
Seems pretty good.
That's Phoenix Guard. And they have full plate now, so that's pretty cool. And they have they're stubborn, they cause fear still, they're immune to psychology. They get a 6-up ward save against non-magic attacks and a 5-up ward save against flaming attacks. So
seems good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I really like that unit. They've got great initiative too. Swordmasters, people are going to talk about these guys. They're pretty nasty. They have strike at initiative, AP -3, magic attack, great weapons.
Yep.
So they have a lot of weapon skill. The plus side is they're only 1 attack a model.
Yeah.
And if you can get them with initiative 10 stuff, it really hurts them.
Yeah.
They're still only elves with a 5-up armor, toughness 3, unless they become ethereal. And if they become ethereal, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're just gonna have to get some magic chariot attacks in there or something, or some always strikes first magic weapons. I think don't fight them if they're ethereal if you can help it. Because
unless you have magic attacks, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you've got a lot of magic attacks, like your demons or something like that, tear them up.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep, they're good. Magic items. Okay, they have a 30-point talisman that's a common magic item, which means that you can give it to multiple characters, which gives them a 5+ regen save called the Seed of Rebirth. So you can stack that if you already have a ward save like on your characters. We'll look at that in my magic list here, or my army list. I definitely have that combination. And then we have like you can just put it all over your army, which is amazing. It's so good to have something like that doesn't take up a slot, and you can stack it with other things. So you could take that and the Talisman of Protection on a character and just have a 5-up 5-up, like, and then take Armor of Destiny in that on another character and have a 4-up 5-up. So it just gives you some really nice options.
Yeah.
My favorite spell is called Val's Unmaking. And you can cast it into combat. You get to pick a character out of a unit and destroy one of their magic items if it goes off.
Seems pretty good.
Love it. Yeah, you got that character fighting your ethereal swordmasters with the magic weapon? Nah, bro.
Not anymore.
I don't think so. Not anymore. Good luck with that.
Womp womp.
So, pretty good.
Good.
Yep. So let's talk about the list.
Yeah, man.
So I found my list was getting too elite.
Okay.
And I had to drop my Star Dragon for a Griffin. I still think the Griffin is cool. It gives him 5 wounds. And he's got Armor of Destiny, so he's got heavy armor with a 4-up ward, and then the Seed of Rebirth for a 5-up Feel No Pain.
Jesus. Yeah.
And then Pure of Heart gives him reroll Panic Test within 6 inches of him. It's free, so you can just give it to one of your guys. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've got a Noble Battle Standard Bearer. He's like my Sea Guard character. He's got full plate, shield, a war bow, the Dragon Helm, which gives him an extra armor save. So he's got a 2+. And then he's got the Sea Guard Honor. And Sea Guard have a really cool rule where they can, when they get charged, reduce or add ranks to their unit. So they can reduce their frontage by 5. and they can reduce their frontage by 5, and then or add to their frontage by 5 when they get charged. So they can really kind of like stand and shoot you with 10 wide, and then reform to be like a block as the charge reaction, which is pretty cool. So I've got the Sea Guard in here for that. 5 Silver Helms with Musician and Champion. Then I've got 20 Sea Guard. They've got full command shields and the Razor Banner, which is great because they've got spears. They can fight in extra ranks. Any 6s they roll to hit, the Razor Banner gives them armor bane 2. 2 units of 5 Illyrian Reavers with short bows and musicians. These are fast cavalry. These guys just run around the table. They just get in the way of stuff and be really annoying. Maybe shoot some extra bow shots. And they're also elves with spears.
Yep.
14 Swordmasters. This is where my Archmage goes. I gave him the Silver Wand. The Silver Wand gives him an extra spell. So he's got 5 spells, which lets him cast 5 spells, which is awesome for 15 points. A unit of 3 Tyrnok Chariots. This is a unit I just wanted to try because I think they're fun. You can take them in units of 4, and you can put a character in with them too because they're not heavy chariots. So I think that's kind of a cool unit. I don't know. Yeah. And then 2 Eagles for redirection and 2 repeater bolt throwers. So this is a total combined arms list. It's got a couple of hitters in the Swordmasters and the Tyrnok Chariots, and the Prince on Griffin can absolutely kill stuff and be tough. So he can hold people up if you need to. And then it's got a bunch of magic. So yeah, it's got a bunch of different tools at its disposal.
I would imagine High Elves are expensive as things to buy. Like, looking at your list, it feels like a very small elite army.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're all really good.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, so they're all super good.
So they all do the thing that they're supposed to do very well.
Those Swordmasters are going to be awesome as ethereal. Rock
yeah, that's totally where that Archmage is going. He's going to chill with that.
So gross. Okay.
It's time to step into the grim darkness where nerds gather talking Warhammer madness. Grim After Dark, the podcast with the hosts John, Danny, and Val, but they're not the most. Claiming to be experts, but it's all a facade. Talking about battles and dice rolls, they're all odd. Trying to sound cool with their Warhammer talk, but I'm here to expose it's all just squawk. Nerds, everywhere I see talking Warhammer this, like it's a decree. But let me tell you, homie, it is all just a game. In the real world, homie, we are not the same. So put down the dice, step out of the dark. It's time to live life, nerd, make your own mark. Grim After Dark, the nerds playground. Talking Warhammer this, acting all profound. But when I listen, it's all just a bunch of noise. I love roasting nerds and their stupid ass toys. Stupid ass toys, I wanna grab them, put my hands around the neck, squeeze, Warhammer squeeze, until they can't breathe again. Tell a friend, I'm out here roasting nerds again.